Hey guys, this is Nate. Another 5-minute analyst video. Today what we're going to be working on is generating a report inside of QGIS. Had this come up last week with one of my colleagues, and they were trying to do this, and I helped them through it, and I thought this might be a good next video to show you guys how to do it as well. So I've already created the map. It's nothing crazy. I've got a shape that I call market area. I've got a customer file. I went through the customer file and I categorized the customers just to add a little bit to the map. So I've just got a yes/no flag, and I colored those up blue and white, as you can see. So really, what we're going to focus on today is just the report side. If you're not sure how to theme a shape categorically, or you're not sure how to apply the layer rendering effects that I did, we'll cover those in a different video, but today I'm assuming that you have a map, right? So if you don't have one, pause the video, go grab an old one, or grab some data, throw it together, and resume once you're at something similar to where I'm at. So in order to build a report, the way that QGIS presents that is a print layout, right? So if you hit new print layout, it's going to pop up and say, well, you got to give it a name. So we'll just call this tutorial report, which probably should be report tutorial, but you get where I'm going there. So a report pops up. Now I have everything expanded, so it's a little bit hard to see. What you probably want to do is you probably want to have both of these things open. QGIS here and the report tutorial, right? So I'm going to separate them into two different windows. You know, I'm using a Mac. That's how I did it in a Mac. I don't know what software you're using. I'm not sure how you do it, but I imagine it's something similar. But basically, let's run down how the report works. Basically, you're adding objects over here to your report canvas. So as you can see, this one, which I always get confused with this one. I always think this one is the map, but it's not. It's just a picture. So this is the map. So if we click Add, and we put, we draw an area on there, boom, this is that, right? So that's pretty cool, right? So it picks up whatever you have going on in your report comes from the canvas that you have over here. So what we're going to do now is just add some basic things like a header, right? So we've got the map. That's great. It's not quite at the right zoom level, but for now, I think that's okay. You can play around with that later once you get more comfortable with it. If you click this Set to Map Canvas Extent, it'll adjust your map in your report based on what you've done over here. So I just zoomed in over here and came back and added that. So let's add a title. And the first time I did this, I did not understand what was going on. But let's just call it YouTube video tutorial, right? Report tutorial makes a lot more sense. So you'd think that you come in here and double click this and change it, but that's not what you do. You come over here into the properties, YouTube, QGIS report tutorial. See? So now it's showing up over here. So you it's not totally intuitive how you would work with this, but I think once you start doing it, you really get it. So click on font. Your font window should open up. I'm a big Open Sans, however you say that, font guy, so that's what I'm going to pick. That's always my go-to. So I'll go Open Sans. Boom. See, changes it over here. Awesome. How do you want it aligned? Boom. So far, I mean, you've got a map and you've got a title, right? That's pretty cool. But there are things that you need when you're going to generate a report, right? Especially if you have a map, like a scale. So over here, you can add a scale bar. So let's see where we want it. It always adds it in a weird spot, a weird side. That's pretty big. So we'll put this guy down here. All right, there's our scale. Fantastic. But what else do we need? Huh? You know, are we going to want to add any callouts? Because if you do, you can do it here. The other thing that you always want to have is a legend, right? Because how does anybody know what the blue or the white means or the orange? So we're going to put our legend over here. There's always more stuff in the legend than you think, or at least for me. And it pops up with a white background, which is just horrible. So if we go into our legend, right, so you pick the layer. If you want to think of it that way, it's very similar to the map in the sense that there are layers, right? So this legend is its own self-contained item over here. So if we want to make changes to it, click on legend, then you come over here and you start to look at, oh, what are my options, right? So here, background, color, I do not want it to be white. I would much rather it be transparent. So now, okay. So now what we're going to end up with is a map with a legend and a scale. And let's see right here. So far, one, it shows Google Road, which is a little bit annoying because you don't necessarily want people to see that. It doesn't really matter. It shouldn't really matter to them. So what you can do is you can come into the legend and you can delete some of the layers that are actually shown. So that's one thing that is cool to do. You know, come in and customize what you're showing people. Just 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that. So if we don't want Google Road to show, you basically uncheck auto update, and then you just hide it. Boom, it's gone. Right? So little things like that. I mean, as you play around with it, you saw there what happened, why it was a little bit crazy, is that it got stuck on the map object, and I was looking for the legend property. So just be sure that you double click on these, and it'll adjust your map accordingly. It'll adjust these items. So basically, there you have it. That's how you generate a very basic report in QGIS. Again, we're assuming away a lot about QGIS. One, that you have the base maps installed, you know how to theme, you know how to bring in shapes. So if you have any questions about that, just leave something in the comments, and I'll try and make a video on those. Again, two important things that you want to bring in is a legend and a scale, so people know what they're looking at, right? Please, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. It's the only way I really know which videos are really appealing and helpful and which videos are not so great. So let me know if you guys have any questions, and we'll pick this back up later. Peace.